Some people walk into a room and you immediately feel it. Not because they're loud, not because they're flashy, but because they're original. They don't copy the way others talk, dress, think, or chase trends. They move differently. And today, we're diving deep into the psychology of people who never copy others and why their mindset quietly gives them power. Psychologically, people who don't copy others have a very strong internal compass. Instead of asking, "What are people doing?" they ask, "What feels right to me?" This inner reference point is called internal validation. Most people rely on external validation, likes, approval, trends, applause. But original thinkers don't need permission to be themselves. Their confidence doesn't come from being accepted. It comes from being aligned. Another key trait is self-trust. People who never copy others trust their own judgment, even when it feels uncomfortable. Copying is often a shortcut to safety. When you copy, you blend in. When you don't, you stand out, and standing out feels risky. Original people are willing to tolerate that discomfort. Psychologists call this a high tolerance for uncertainty. They're okay not knowing if they'll be approved, because they value authenticity more than comfort. You'll also notice that these people think long-term, not short-term. Copying others can bring quick rewards, attention, acceptance, trends. But originality builds something deeper: identity. People who don't copy are obsessed with growth, not comparison. They're not asking, "Am I better than them?" They're asking, "Am I better than I was yesterday?" That shift alone rewires how the brain experiences success. There's also a strong link between originality and emotional independence. When someone copies others, they're often outsourcing their sense of self. Original people do the opposite. They own their emotions. If they fail, they reflect instead of blaming. If they succeed, they don't inflate their ego. This emotional maturity makes them calm under pressure, a trait strongly associated with leadership and influence. Interestingly, people who never copy others are usually misunderstood early in life. They may be called weird, stubborn, or different. But psychologically, this early resistance strengthens them. It forces self-reflection. Over time, they stop trying to fit in and start building something unique. That's why many innovators, creators, and leaders were once outsiders. Another powerful trait is selective learning. Not copying doesn't mean ignoring others. It means observing without imitation. These people study patterns, behaviors, and systems, then create their own version. They don't replicate. They reinterpret. This is a sign of high cognitive flexibility, the ability to adapt ideas without losing identity. Here's the hard truth most people avoid. Copying feels safe, but it slowly erodes self-respect. Deep down, the brain knows when you're not being authentic. People who never copy others avoid that internal conflict. Their self-esteem is quieter, but stronger. It's not dependent on applause. It's rooted in self-respect, and this is why, over time, original people attract followers instead of chasing them. Humans are wired to admire authenticity. Even when people don't understand it at first, they feel it. That's the psychology behind influence without imitation. If you see yourself in this mindset, or if you want to develop it, remember this. Originality is not loud, it's consistent. It's choosing your own path, even when no one is. Clapping yet, if this kind of psychological insight challenges the way you see people and yourself make. Sure, you subscribe to PsychoX's channel. Breaks down human behavior, mindset, and power dynamics in ways most people never talk about. Subscribe now, because once you understand psychology, you stop copying the world and start shaping it.